say that I'm not tonight. Tonight's topic is not about all of the black diaspora, but it is about those out there that do constantly come and find a way to demean Black American culture. So we definitely got to, this definitely has to be said about this. Like this was ridiculous right here. This whole little thing, these guys build a platform up here just disrespecting Black Americans and stuff like that. Like that, that's an issue right there. That's an issue. So we definitely, I want to hear it. And like I said, a lot of sisters came forward and they're like, yo, those women, and I have to agree, most of those women, I'm not saying you didn't have a couple sprinkle in there that might be Black American, but the vast majority of those women up there twerking on this dude and cutting up and say the N-word, say it. Most of those women were not Black American women, But my thing right here, whether you're a Black American woman or not, you should have an issue with that. Because the first thing you say is when you get pulled over by the police, if you're an immigrant or of an immigrant background, you say, well, they're going to look at me just the same. When the cops stop me, it's just the same thing. So, if you feel that same way, you should definitely have an issue with somebody sitting up here. This dude, Nick, is a bona fide, and I mean, he doesn't make any hay about it. Like, he's a bona fide white supremacist. Like, this dude, some of the stuff he says, and I mean, not only about Black people, he says about Hitler and everything else. And I know the chick, what's a crazy looking chick named Professor Pearly Gates? What her name? Pearly what her name?
Pearly Necklace.
Pearly Necklace. Pearly Necklace. I know he was on the podcast with her or whatever Pearly Things or whatever her name is, but he was on the podcast with her and and he straight up telling them about her Black boyfriend and this and that. And I think somebody was Italian, like, the Italians got a problem with that and this and that or whatever. Like, they giving this dude a platform up here to just go ahead and just go in on Black people. Like, I wonder how many people Fresh and Fit actual, his viewership is actually Black American. Like, how many Black Americans actually tune into this garbage and actually watch these dudes and actually give them a platform to make money and to build? Because I know they got various platforms that's pretty big. I know on YouTube they said that they got over 1 million followers on there, 1 million subscribers. So how many of these people? Because I know people say, well, the vast majority of their audience is Black. Define Black though, because we know there's Black American and there's a Black diaspora. What's the actual proportion of their actual audience that's actually Black American? I wonder, because Professor, did you see the video? Did you see any of these videos yet? You there, Professor? Okay, Professor May.
Hey, I'm sorry, man. I had stepped away for a second. I heard you say something about, did I see the video?
Did you see the videos of the Black women up here twerking on the white boy?
Yes.
Oh,
yes, and I was very disappointed, man. And I was trying to maybe see if I could tell if they were Black American women or maybe...
I don't think they all was Black American women. I think you may have had a couple sprinkle in there, but I don't think the vast majority of them was Black American women. That's not to say you didn't have a couple bed wenches here and there in the mix or whatever, but I don't think the vast majority of these women was Black Americans. Because
I ain't gonna lie, bro. I was too busy trying to look at the booty shaking.
Nah, I wasn't trying to look at. Nah, we ain't finna. Nah, we wasn't trying to look at nothing. We trying to look at these women being bed wenches up here and just completely selling out Black people and Black culture. Yeah, man. And then, like I said, one of them. What's the dude name? What's the one name with what is the one name? Talk about he put on a damn Klan hat. What is his name? Marlon or whatever his damn name is. He put on a damn Klan hat or whatever. Like, it's just like, wow. Like, this is, you talk about step and fetch.
The one that was hosting it, the one that was hosting the show.
Yeah, one of them, because he like I told everybody, like, I don't watch the show. Like, I've heard of these guys, and I saw, like, I've never tuned in, but I saw a little bit of their actual videos that was surfacing and stuff like that. So I don't watch them. I've heard of them for a while or whatever, and I'm like, what the hell is Fresh and Fit? Like, the Nick cat, I've seen Nick here and there. I've seen him, like I said, I've seen him when that whole thing a couple months started, when Jason Black started going into Pearly, and he started going in and whatnot, and he started talking about like how she was hosting this white supremacist Nick or whatever, and I heard about his background and just ultra right wing he is and his views on race and everything else or whatever. I watched a couple videos with him or whatever. So I mean, he doesn't hide it. So give him. I mean, at least he's not one of these kind that try to hide it and beat around the bush. He lets you know straight up, hey, I can't stand you. I don't like you. I got no use for you. But some of these other ones, that's an issue right there. Like, that is a serious issue, man. Like I said, if you have not seen that video and just twerking on the dude or whatever, like this dude got like neo-Nazi tendencies, neo-Nazi views and everything like that. And they just sitting up here like just breaking bread with this man. Everybody sitting around the table, chumming it up and whatnot. It was ridiculous, man. It was
man, I hate to say it, but I have come to the conclusion, family, that we have people within our group, and when I say our group, I'm just talking about blacks in general, who just don't give a damn about the whole racial dynamic of what's going on with us all in America and beyond America, because this whole white supremacy thing is global, okay? And to me, we should all be standing against it and trying to come together to stop this whole damn thing. Like what we saw over there in France, where we saw African people, and it might have even been some African Americans, because there are African Americans in France too, by the way. So it could have been a combination of the two over there, taking to the streets and doing some damage over there. Now, some people might not like the idea of people going out there burning buildings and stuff like that. But hey, sometimes you got to make noise, man. You got to get out there and do it, because being what they call it, the whole non-violent, you just passive aggressive, holding up signs and all that stuff, just don't catch it. It don't move the needle with these white people. They don't care about you holding up signs. Okay. But I'm very concerned about a lot of our people, and I think it's mainly in the younger generation. Newstoter, I could be wrong, but I think that's where it's at, man. The younger generation that's under us are getting to a point where they just don't really care about this whole racial dynamic the way we see it. But I could be wrong, but that's what I'm seeing out here.
Well, Professor, they do seem to, and which is crazy because never before, I mean, you've seen images back in the day with black people burning and being beaten on the streets and stuff like that. When we think about the 60s, you see the water hoses and you see the canines and the billy clubs. But now with the amount of cell phones and footage and social media and internet and everything else, you're seeing this on a daily basis in terms of the actual, the situations of black people getting beat up by cops and just getting into it with regular citizens and stuff like that. So they definitely, I know they definitely shouldn't be feeling like they're in a race neutral type society. Like that's just totally not what's going on. But the fact of the matter is that we really do have a situation that we're gonna need our black people in the diaspora that really are for unity and for right. And they're gonna have to start saying something to some of their people here. No, I mean they're gonna have to start holding some of their people accountable right here and letting them know like this is not how you do it. You can't come over here and you can't sit up here because you know what, whether you want to say that, hey, I don't descend from slaves or whatever, I wasn't in this country when slavery was taking place and this or that, whatever, you directly benefit for everything that black people fought for in this country. And not only that, the minute something happens to you, then you want to go ahead and you want to shoehorn yourself into the situation of, hey, I need your help. I need this and that. I'm black or whatever. We've seen so many instances over the past year or two. We saw with the African cat and the Nigerian, I believe it was Nigerian in Miami, the white girl ended up killing him or whatever. All of a sudden, his family's trying to get black people to go ahead and stand up for him. And you start digging into some of his messages and you start seeing all this anti-black American vitriol, especially by black women and this and that or whatever. His family's trying to get you to stand up for it. We've seen, we see too many times that some of our Caribbean brothers and sisters sit up here and they say, well, I'm this first, I'm Jamaican, I'm Haitian, I'm this and I'm that or whatever. But, when those Haitians was down there in Texas last and they were trying to get into the country, everybody started saying, hey, well, we need black people to speak up. We need black, and by black people, they're talking about black Americans. So you can't have it both ways. You can't sit up here and make fun of the actual Black American plight, and then at the same time, when something happens to you for having skin that's black, then you sit up here and say, well, you know what? I need your help. I need you to come bail me out. You see how they treating us. Look at how bad they doing us and this and that or whatever. So you just can't have it both ways, man. And we also got to stop too, Professor. And you're right, like the younger generation, but the younger generation are not some imbeciles sitting up here that's on Ritalin, that's doped up 24 hours a day. They know damn well about the actual racial tensions that's going on in this country. Just because you may have a white girlfriend or you may have a girlfriend or boyfriend outside of your race doesn't mean that, racism doesn't exist. So we got to stop. They're in the information age. They're seeing this stuff every day that happens online with the images and everything else. So they know damn well exactly what's going on in this country. So they can't use it as a cop-out excuse. Oh, well, we didn't know what we did. Yeah, you knew. You knew exactly what was going on right here. And like I said, it's time for some of these actual people in the community that's in the Black community, that's not just Black Americans, because we will call out the actual Tom class in our community. But it's time for some of the other people in the diaspora, man, to start calling these people out, man. Like this fresh and fit, like nobody worth a damn should be looking at them. If they sitting up here doing all of this dude, Myron is his name. Myron putting on a damn Klan. What the hell? Why would you put on a Klan hat? You put on a Klan hat like that's funny. Y'all sitting up here and just giggling with this dude here who is looking at y'all. He can't believe that you're actually going along with it, but he's glad that you are. Because when they see that, they see how weak the Black race is or whatever. Whether you want to identify as being from this place or that place, and I think they said the cat Myron don't even identify with being Black at all. So. That's another issue that you got with a lot of the folks over there on the continent. Like I say, they say they don't become Black until they actually get here in the United States of America. Well, this cat here, and they wanted to try to, and from what OJ Duke Jackson was saying, that these people wanted to boost their platforms up basically off of Black people. Like they were trying to get Kevin Samuels to come to the platform. They were trying to get the hip hop stars and this and that, whatever. So. You want to be Black, like I said before, when it's convenient to you. You want to go ahead and use a Black name and boost up your clout and everything off of Black people. But then you want to sit up here and this one cat, sitting up here telling, well, I'm not actually Black and this and that, whatever. So we got some issues right here, man. I'm not exactly sure how you can go about that because we've let too much too far go for too long. And it's to the point now that people just come straight over here, have no respect for the culture. They didn't want to listen to the music and emulate the style, anything that's dealing with entertainment and things of that nature. But when it comes to actual, the hardcore history and the facts of what it is to actually be Black, because being Black is more than a music genre, and being Black is more than a type of clothing that you wear and shoes and everything else like that. It goes much, much deeper than that. So you want to take bits and pieces of a culture and assimilate it, but then you want to go ahead and disrespect the other parts of it, and you're benefiting. Let's be for real. You're benefiting from the struggle of simply being here, and you're sitting up here and you're pissing on everybody that comes over here. And you got a bunch of Black people that's sitting along, whether they Black Americans or not, sitting along, playing right along with this dumb stuff. Shout out to my people over there on YouTube as well, too. Shout out to you, Brooke. And I know Brooke said, hey, she said, not us, the elders. Like, yeah, Brooke, I agree. It's not the elders, it's not the older people, but you got enough young people. We have some of the smartest 18 to 30-year-olds and that we've ever had in the history of this country. They know what's going on, man. Like I said, they know exactly what's going on in the country. They see this and stuff. Like I said, you've never had a medium like social media before. You never had a YouTube before where anybody can upload a video just like that. And to sit up here and, to go ahead and just let people up here. And then, like I say, you see why you're having these wars online right now. You see why the phrase, like we had the space that time. Remember, Professor, we were saying like, the diaspora wants you to stop using the word tether. Well, when you're seeing videos like this being made, is the word tether going to be stopped used anytime soon? I mean, I don't see the use of that word going down anytime soon when you're going to have videos played like that. And like I say, we know good and well, it's not everybody. And I'm not trying to paint everybody with a wide brush and saying this is how everybody in the diaspora are, because we know there's going to be some people that call them out, but there is not enough. It is too silent. People want Black Americans to speak up on how they feel that they're mistreating the black immigrants and how they're not respecting black immigrants online, but you do not get that same resistance and kickback. And you're going to need that if you really want to go ahead and form some kind of partnership and have mutual respect. You're going to have to sit up here the same way you want black Americans to sit up here and say that, hey, this is not right the way you guys are allowing certain people to speak about us online and this and that. You're going to have to sit up here and say that too, man. You're sitting up here with a damn neo-Nazi sitting up here giggling, and you got women sitting up here twerking on him, like mammying it up like they some kind of harlots and Jezebels and everything else that's going on, just belly warmers sitting up here making this white boy's day up here. He can't stand you. He can't even stand to be around you. But even though he has this hatred for you, he's still slightly aroused by that. I mean, this is just straight up this is just straight up plantation play on that video. It was crazy. And like I said, nobody is sitting up here. They should be a bunch of people from the diaspora right now making videos to refute that, to go dead set against that, knocking that down. Hey, we're not this, we're not for this, we're not for that. That's not who we are. You know, we got nothing to do with these people, fresh and fit. We kicking them to the curb or whatever. We don't support Nick or anything or his views about black Americans. But no, let's see exactly how many videos come out. It was a dude, Professor, I don't know, and I couldn't watch this whole video because he was talking about the fake outrage. The dude got a channel called The Black Conservative, and I watched a couple of minutes of it, but he was sitting up and he was talking about, that that the people in the pro-black arena, they're upset because fresh and fit, they have a mostly black audience, and the people on the stage up there winning was mostly black, so that you're gonna get this fake I guess this fake outrage. He's like, let me go ahead and jump ahead of this or whatever. So basically this Negro, and I don't know if this Negro is a black American, but it would not doubt me. I know that's one thing too. We got to also, as much as we put it on the actual black immigrants, there are a whole bunch of Uncle Toms right here in the United States. That's of black American chattel slavery descent as well too. So we got our fair share, and we know a bunch of them. At least we will put them out there, but we got a whole bunch of. But he was trying to sit up here and say, well, I couldn't even watch all of the video because I could hear the excuses that he was going to get ready to make for him. Well, he's sitting up and he's got a black audience and there's black people sitting up and I know they're not black. Then he's got to come and say, well, I know they're probably not black American. And that's the issue right there. Yeah, a lot of people feel like because they're not black American, they don't have to sympathize or empathize with the actual struggle that black Americans went through. But come Black History Month, they're going to go ahead and claim Black History Month as well, too. So, yeah, man, we up in the space tonight, and I definitely want to get Trouble. I know you up in the space as well. Ray, what's up? Rera, I want to get some of our people up here, too, man. And Professor, what was I going to say? Because I don't know what time DJ going to come up in the space. I know he was doing something earlier, so he'll probably get up here whenever he gets a chance. But Ray, if you want to co-host tonight or whatever, let me know. I know you'd be pretty busy as well too. So if not, me and Professor will hold it down. I wouldn't mind having Trouble come up here, but I know Trouble's busy as well too. So we're gonna go ahead and hold it down best we can. Y'all go ahead and retweet the space out or whatever. I'm not trying to make it into a immigrant bashing tether type space, how people say, like I said, because I don't even really use the word tether, but I do think that there's a lot of disrespect going on, and it's been mainly considered one-sided from black Americans, but you can see why a lot of black Americans are pissed off. No, Brooke says no one is going to make a video. When I said that you need to have some people out of the diaspora actually make a video, Brooke, somebody needs to make one. Straight up, somebody needs to make one refuting that kind of stuff. Like, I mean, I'm not expecting an avalanche of people just coming out with videos, but somebody needs to come up here and say, hey, that was dead wrong. We got a problem with that, but somebody needs to step up. Definitely. What's up, Trouble?
Hey, Newstoter, Professor, Black family up in the house. How's everybody? Yeah, I
What's
don't have
up?
a whole lot to add because y'all pretty much broke it all the way down. And I totally agree with your assessment. It is a lot of degeneracy that's going on. I've seen the videos floating around, but I have yet to really just kind of click on it because even the still portion of it, without even clicking on the video, just looks like a bunch of debauchery to me. And it's highly annoying. And it is, like you say, but both a bunch of non-Black Americans, but it's also, us Black Americans, we also participate in the foolishness. When I seen it, the first thought that came to my mind is hoes gonna be hoes. And you can't tell a hoe not to be a hoe when there's some type of spotlight that she could get, and she doesn't care. She, as the hoe, doesn't care about where that spotlight comes from, whether it's from a white person who hates your gut, but he still loves your gushy gushy. If you could get that little bit piece of spotlight, that little 15 seconds of fame, you're going to do whatever it is that you could do so you can flap that little stale ass around on camera in hopes that somebody else will pick you up so you could be. It's like the new age video vixen. You couldn't actually get that video vixen job, so the next best thing you have in your corner is, a video, even if it is a degenerate, fresh and fit video online. And so it's really, it's kind of telling, but it's the problem that I have is that we as Black Americans know about the process of delineation and how and why we're trying to do it, but the rest of the world doesn't see that. Everything people do, and it doesn't matter if it's us or anyone else, it always looks bad on the Black American. Everything is associated with us, and there's no separation. No one's talking about, them Africans on the African continent need to get it together and stop, flapping their ass around like that. Oh, them Caribbeans, they don't do that. Everything associated with when you see somebody Black up there. So, and I don't give a goddamn if they have an accent or not. It's still associated with us. And that is the biggest problem that I have with it. And then we don't have people who are actually have a platform that's speaking on this, to a point to where it's taking root and people are actually picking it up and paying attention to it and noticing that, who it is and what it is. But like I said, I just kind of look at it as hoes being hoes and bed wenches being bed wenches, and they're not going to see it until, they get their own little feelings hurt or twisted up in the cut, because it's every hoe for themselves. I didn't see the Ebony slave play that Wall was talking about. I don't know what that's about.
The Ebony, that's all mixed into the title. These chicks are basically, how they always say Ebony, and we associate it with Black. It was slave play. They sitting up here, say the N-word, Nick. Say the N-word. Or say that, champion this dude to go ahead so he could say nigger. And he went ahead and said nigger for everybody. So they're basically sitting up at a slave play. They sitting up here twerking on him and whatever. That's slave play right there. He was a white man in the and that came down to the slave cabin, and all of his nigger women entertained him for the night.
Right. And it's a lot of people have that type of fetish. You have these divestors who love to get with white men, and they participate in the whole, spank me, love me, call me a nigger, call me a, whatever, so they just kiki that way, kiki boots, so it doesn't matter to them, and they're not thinking about the collective. They're thinking about themselves and their own freaky little fetishes and what gets them off, So I don't know if that's I don't know, y'all. I really just don't know where our focus should be, because I'm looking at a video of white supremacists plotting, and the FBI haven't sat back and watched them since 2019, plotting to kill Black Americans, and they don't realize when they get up there with these white supremacists doing the things that they're doing, that we have a bigger fight on our hand. There are things in this nation that we as Black Americans are clued on, such as white supremacy and how they've been coming for us, how they plotting on us. And we have so many different fights on our hands till it is ridiculous. So we got to sit here and fight with these white supremacists who's trying to actively kill us and plot us, while at the same time you degenerates are coming from overseas and mixing with the degenerates that are already here. And y'all are doing these slave play enactments and stuff with these white boys online, not realizing that they're using you. You think you're using them, but in the end game, you're using them, and we have to fight you too. We have another battle on hand, because they us through going through you. And it's annoying at this point in time because nobody wants to, like DJ Love say, y'all don't listen. Y'all ain't listening. Y'all just you need to listen. They're not listening. They are not listening to those who are the expert in white fuckery. So we gotta watch these white supremacists and we gotta babysit y'all too. I am tired of babysitting mugs. I don't know if you feel me on that, but I'm just tired of playing a babysit game. Rella, see you up in the cut. Hey, Phoenix, I see you there too, sis. Oh, Stephanie up in the cut. I am. Woo, woo. Is that Black Pressure down there? Yeah, look at Black Pressure. Done crept his behind up in the mug. Love y'all.
Love you, Trouble.
And Trouble, that's what I'm talking about. What you just said right there, you summed it up. Like we already have our plate full. Now we have to worry about somebody that comes over here looking like us and then sitting up here being elevated to the point where they can push this kind of crap out there. So that's the issue right there. The riders that's in the diaspora, they do everything they can to keep them back at home. Like, oh no, you raise enough hell over here. We're going to keep you there. We're not going to send you to America to really get things riled up with the people over there that's trying to do something as well too. So we got the lames coming over here that have no fight in them. And all they want to do is undermine, and they're going to be propped up as well too. So that's the issue that we're having with a lot of these people coming over here. Because like I say, there are plenty of riders in the diaspora, but unfortunately, they're not sending them over here. They're sending the ones over here that they know that's not going to do anything, that has no fight in them, that wants to undermine everything that was worked for over here. And because they're going to be put up on a certain level. They've already been propped up. They've been given a little trinkets here and there to go ahead and cause hell. So that's the issue. Like you said, we got so many serious issues and stuff like that. And we try to cover so many different things as well, too. But when you got somebody that's got a platform of 1 million people on YouTube alone, and you sitting up here with somebody that's one that Nick Fuentes, this joke has been kicked off of all kind of platforms. So even a lot of the white folks, kind of leery of his rhetoric. He goes after the Jewish community, and they kind of get to him a little bit, and they can kick him off with this or that. But you sitting up here while this man is spewing all kind of stuff on your platform in blackface. So you can sit up here. The first thing that one of these white people that really have a bunch of anti-black feelings about black people can sit up here and say, well, you see, it's a room full of black people that feel the same way as we do. Oh, you see, the hosts, they're black. They don't have an issue with it. All they're doing is speaking truth. So that's why, just like you have some of these these diehard MAGA Republicans that's black, you have to kind of watch them as well too, because they'll sit up here and they'll spew that same kind of garbage up there because they know that it's a fan base out there for it. So they'll sit up there and they'll talk all of this nonsense like that. Phoenix, I'm gonna get to you. Let me read this real thing real quick that Brooke put on YouTube. She said, let's be honest, the whole world is now hooked on the idea of diversity, equity, and inclusion, but it's the inclusion that purposely doesn't include us. So Brooke, I'll say the whole world pretends that they're hooked on this whole inclusion and everything else as well too, because a lot of that is just the front. They're really not hooked on inclusion and all that. A certain group of people want to put the thing like it's really about inclusion, where they still want to control and manipulate everything behind the scenes as well too. So as long as a certain group can control everything, then they can go ahead and put up this whole picture. Oh yeah, we're all inclusive and we treat everybody fair and it's diversity and this and that, whatever. It's whatever they say it is, pretty much. Let me go ahead and we'll see if the room is starting to grow. So y'all go ahead and tweet out the space as well too. And for those that want to speak, go ahead and raise your hand and come up here. And it's good to have some of the sisters coming up here too, because like I said, a lot of those sisters in that I don't believe was Black American, but even if they were Black American, then they just as bad as the ones that were sitting up there with this peckerhead cutting the fool as well too. So I know people say, well, if they were Black American, they were sitting up here with this dude that has a complete hatred for Black people, then whatever happens to him straight up. Phoenix, go ahead and unmute your mic. How you doing tonight?
Hi, family. Hi, Newstoter. Thank you. I'm great. I'm sorry. I'm just finishing up chewing some food. But I want to say this. And my ladies, Trouble, you laid it down. The hoe is the hoe is the hoe is the hoe. You can't really do anything about that. But what I will say is one thing we can do, can we report that channel? Can we report it as abusive? I mean, this is kind of where
you probably could, yeah.
Where we have to start gatekeeping as Black women, because that's our image that's being brewing, and they're not from the lineage, and Fresh and Fit are not from the lineage. And I don't even know if they're straight, but we know that they're one of their platforms, just like that other Tommy guy, is all about destroying the image and the reputation of, and I'm gonna say American freedmen, Black American women, because at this point there is no telling, right? Because the look is the same, the attitude and the actions are not necessarily the same, but they're not from the soil and they don't act like it. And I mean, and like Trevor said, we do have some that, out for, an opportunity that may not have done their homework on this white boy, because he ain't the one to be, showing out for it like that and doing that play bullshit. That's sick to me. It's so sick. It's so sick. So we need to, as a group, as the ladies and the men that love the ladies, to start reaching out to these people and let them know it's not cool and we're gatekeeping our culture, and stop with the debauchery. And then when they start, saying things about Black women, we need to jump on top of that too, because they're just showing those images because they dislike us, especially those two. They always have something to say. So I'll land there, y'all. I'm sorry. I'm eating at the same time and driving.
No, you're doing a lot then. So you eating, driving, and talking at the same time? Yeah. You definitely got your hands full.
Exactly. That's why I'm like, I'm doing too much. Thank you, sorry.
No problem, Phoenix. Let me go ahead and get to Rella. Rella, what's going on? How you doing tonight?
Hey, Newstoter, Professor.
Hey, what's up?
Hey, shout out to the Big Trouble in the building. She always gonna bring that fire. Phoenix too. Both my sisters in the building. They gonna bring that deep thought for people to really start to look and pay attention. And you guys, Newstoter and Professor, thank you for holding it down. In this space, as brothers who are part of, the movement. I want to say that it's really sad to actually watch that entire clip, because what I noticed is they didn't allow Nick Fuentes to choose whether or not he was talking about Africans in those clips, and they didn't allow him to disrespect them women based on their ethnicity and nationality. I noticed they focused a lot on Americans, and they made sure that he spewed venom based on the fact that he was talking about Americans. And so the crazy part to me is that I see one of the ladies, now I'm big on energy and I watch people's behaviors. And I was looking at all of them. The woman with the locks, the burgundy locks, or the red locks, who was the one to say, when he was like, should I say the word? And she was like, yeah, say it. She was like the first one. And then all the other ladies, except for I think the two on the left side of the table, were like, this is not right. And he was like, well, no one's gonna punch me. No one's going to deck you. And then he says it, and he says it with the hard ER. And I hear her say, did you say with the hard ER? Because they were assuming he was going to say, nigga.
I guess that made it better if he would have said that, huh?
Right. So when you listen to actually what is happening in the entire room, everybody's like floored. They losing their daggone minds. But Fresh and Fit, I think, knew. I think they were well aware of who he was. And the ladies, I think one of the ladies actually posted later on that she didn't even know who he was. And she was posting down her Instagram. And I follow Threads down a rabbit hole because I like to, I like to read and get all the juicy mess. So when it's time for us to really talk about it, we have all of the answers. And what I see is you have two Africans who allow even their own women to be degraded by a white supremacist just for likes. How dangerous is that? Didn't even care if they knew who he was or not. So much so that, they allowed him to be on this platform and spew the venom he spat. They couldn't have done that if he was talking about the Jewish community, the Ashkenazis. They wouldn't have, their platform would have been over. It would have been done. They wouldn't even have a platform anymore. But because our country has invested in people making money off of degrading us and putting us into less than human, less than an animal, they allow people like Fresh and Fit to come and they get airtime. I tagged the FCC. I tagged the FCC in that video. And I would recommend that if people are serious in getting that channel taken down, that you report them to the FCC, you report them to the department, the DOJ, and you say why. That to me is cyber terrorism. That is cyber terrorism, and if you're going to allow that to happen while Black Americans are in the fight of trying to reclaim and repair ourselves, you will be responsible. And these are the harms that I'm talking about. Everything that they keep allowing people to do to us, they are going to have to take the tab. The bill goes to them. And we have to make sure they understand it goes to them. And so Nick Fuentes is going to be who he's going to be. He's a Latina, mixed race, I think, Latina, white, supremacist. And you have him who has a fetish. They all have fetishes for Black women. That's what conquesting is. That's why the women have fetishes for Black men. But people, always running around, love is love. No, love is not sometimes love. Sometimes love is actually, I need to have this particular thing on my arm because why? It brings me access. It brings me access. So, and I'll let it there.
All right. Thank you, Rella. We go ahead and get to Phoenix. Phoenix, I don't know, you still eating or you done eating now?
No, I'm better. I'm better now. Thank you. I'm sorry. And brother, she nailed it. I wanted to ask
Phoenix, you went kind of low for a second. Can we get you a little bit louder?
Okay. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay. I was going to say, brother nailed it, and I was going to ask you guys as a host, if we could build in maybe 2 minutes, 5 minutes of time in the space at some time to actually just bombard them with cancel and reports of that space. And I say this because who's coming up missing most of the time? Black women and Black children. We cannot afford for our images to be just diminished, abused, and all of those things because in addition to everything else that happens, and we have not been gatekeeping and protecting us because we're the ones that are suffering the most and our children. And when you start making things like this normal and for shits and giggles, that just adds on.
Uh-oh, we lost you, Phoenix.
Trying to portray. I'm sorry, a call was coming in.
Okay.
It adds to the devaluing of us in our lives. So I'm going to ask that we take a minute to report them and report them in mass at a certain time so that they know that we're serious and we're not taking it anymore. And then we're going to do that to every freaking station or channel that has that kind of imagery of us, period. It's no more games. So FCC, report to YouTube, report to whoever else, and I'm going to dig in once I get settled to see who else we can report to. Because we can't take this anymore, because we're being abused, we're being murdered, we're being raped on these streets, taken. All kinds of things are happening, and not just grown women. I'm talking about our girls, the girls who need to take the bus to school, the girls who need to walk in the evening. No, we can't have this. Not at all. And I land.
All right, thank you, Phoenix. Yeah, we can go ahead and definitely. I mean, you guys, definitely. While the space is going, you want to go over there and report the channel. Definitely go ahead and do that. Hosting, that's something that I'll do afterwards, after the space is done. But we can definitely, for those that want to go over there and do that, definitely by all means, go ahead and report the channel. They have a huge platform, so any little bit helps. Any little bit helps people. So definitely go ahead and do that. Let me give a shout out real quick to Black Pressure. Pressure, thank you for your contribution on Cash App. Let me go ahead and get the Trouble, and I'm gonna get the DJ. I see we got some of our other people up in the space as well too, so you guys get a chance. I see Black Native. I know you definitely stay up on this. Definitely with the manosphere talk and all that other stuff that's going on as well too. And just as, speak of the devil, here come a girl right now. So I definitely want to hear what you got to say. I see New Republic is up in here. That's talent. You get a chance to come on up here. I definitely would love to hear what you got to say as well too. So definitely, everybody, we up in the house tonight. We talking about Fresh and Fit. We talking about Nick Fuentes. And like you said, Rella, I'm not even really holding anything against Nick, because Nick is who he is. Nick don't hide who he is. Nick's like, hey, I got this, like you said, that Latino and Aryan blood in me. He's probably upset that he's not fully Aryan. So that pisses him off as well too. So, Nick ain't trying to hide who he is. These other magpies that we done imported over here, they're an issue right here. These magpies, we already have a country full of them over here. So now we have to import the other ones over here. So that's an issue right here. That's an issue. So they got to get straightened out. And it's time for the diaspora to start straightening out some of their magpies that's flying over here to the U.S. And instead of going back home for the spring or summer or whatever, whenever they migrate, they decide to stay here year round. It's time to go ahead and get some of these people straightened out. They're sitting up here and they're just demonstrative towards Black culture, just totally just insulting. And you don't mind listening to the music and putting the clothes on, eating the food and all the other stuff that comes along with it that you consider the high ends of the culture, but you want to sit up here and make fun of the history. You got this dude Myron, like you said, DJ, and I saw you put I saw you put Mouthy Megan was going in. This joker here, Sudanese or whatever. This joker up here putting a damn clan mask on, like that's supposed to be funny. Do you know how many people the Klan are responsible for killing in this country? And you sitting up here doing that. Now we were to go to your country and we started making fun of some of the genocide and stuff that went over there. First off, if we went to your country doing that, we'd be dealt with in a heartbeat. If we went over there making fun of some of the genocide that happened to your people, with some of the ethnic wars and battles they had, we'd be dealt with in a day's time. But you can come over here and you can sit up here and make fun of it, and you have a crowd to go ahead and champion with this nonsense. So, yeah, there's a big issue with that. Let me go ahead and get to Trouble, and then I'm gonna get to you, Black Native, as well too. And DJ, we got you as well. Go ahead, Trouble.
Yeah, so I just wanted to add on to the point that she was making earlier, Newstoter. First of all, when you hear a lot of them speak, they always say, well, we come to America for a better opportunity. So why aren't you taking the opportunity to be better? You come, you do shows like Fresh and Fit. That's not having a better opportunity. You mean a better opportunity to do degenerate shit without your government coming down on your ass? Is that what it is? Because you can't do stuff like that in your country without going to jail or there being some type of repercussions. But then you're coming here, you're doing it, and you're not harming your own people. You are harming the natives that were here before you got here. And then at the same time, when you do certain things, like you were speaking on earlier, Toter, you say, they turn around and say, well, when something happens to your people, you get caught up in the twist. now you want to say, well, we need Black people to speak up for us. You know, where are all the Black Americans at? Why come, you know, I didn't hear any of the Black people speaking up about A, B, and C, like when that woman got killed over in New Jersey. And a woman did several posts online saying, well, where are the Black Americans at? Don't ask us for our help. But then when we're asking you for your help to a degree, as far as not committing these harms you're committing against us as a people, you're not willing to do that. You can't ask us to run out in the street and fight your battles and advocate for you when you're getting gunned down in the streets like we get gunned down in the streets. Now you want our voice, but then you want us to be silent when you're doing other things that in other ways cause us harm. Like Phoenix said, when you all do things like that, it puts an image of our people out there, and they're not coming to get you all caught up in the twist when it comes to kidnapping your people. They're kidnapping Black American children. You know, and that's male and female. There's been I just seen a video about this woman saying her son had been kidnapped by this white man and then brought back after he raped and molested him. So that is affecting our children, our women, our people, period. So they gotta get some act right. You know, they don't have no act right, and they need to get some straight and they gotta get it together. We fight too many battles on one accord, and it's beginning to be a big ass headache. It was another point that I wanted to make, but I got to get out in traffic right quick, so I'm gonna go ahead and land right quick and come back to it if I can remember.
Okay, no problem.
That's right, trouble.
Black Native, what's going on? How you doing? Now, Black Dave, I know you stay up with this stuff too, with the fresh and fit, with the pearly things, or whatever her name is, and yeah, but I know, like when I know when Jason Black was going in and stuff, like you were catching a lot of those podcasts and stuff too, so you definitely knew like what was going on. Like I said, I didn't even know who Pearly was until he started talking about it, to be honest.
Me neither. I didn't know who she was, and like I said, it led me down a rabbit hole of fuckery, which was going on YouTube, and everybody was in on it, I guess, except for you. It's a video called Before They Were Famous, and this guy, Myron Fuddle, was an agent, I believe either CIA or FBI. So let that sink in. I know you saw the pictures of, you know, him being in the bed with white men. I guess those were his roommates.
No, I ain't see that.
Oh, yeah. Hugged up, kissed up, booed up with his white roommates. And they used to clown him and call him all kind of derogatory terms. Yeah, that came out about what? Because they came out in 2020. So these pictures surfaced around 2021. Yeah, it came out. And I don't watch Fresh and Fit for the simple fact that they're degenerates. Their whole spiel is to bring women, mostly Black women, up on their panels to degrade them. But I don't know if you spoke. Did you speak about? Because I came in late to the room, so I don't know if you spoke about him with that Ku Klux Klan hood.
Yeah, I talked about that. Yeah.
Okay, so like Rella said, we should be hitting them up and getting them off of YouTube. I did it with Tommy. I was on his ass since 2010, and you know he popped up in a space earlier today. And they were speaking about this Fresh and Fit, and he was like a kid in a candy store. He couldn't wait to get in on Black women. You know what I'm saying? That's his thing. And then I'm thinking to myself, dude, you was up on the damn panel. You made it find a Black woman, and you sitting here trying to, you know, wash your hands clean like that's not your homeboys? Y'all all cut from the same cloth. You are the grandfather of all of this shit right here. You are the progenitor of it all. So with Fresh and Fit, yeah, they got to go. We got tethers. These two are tethers, the tethers of all tethers, and they don't have no shame. You know, they're out with it, and I'm surprised ain't nobody a Black American going in with some ass. I know I did see a video where he pulled the gun out on the guy that went to his apartment. This is Myron
with the Arab last name, but they've said a lot of things, and they've got away with a lot of things. And like Sister Rella said, if they were Jewish, we all know they would be shut down. They would have been gone. So they know that they can that nobody cares about Black people, nobody cares about Black women, so they could come up and say whatever they want to say about us, and they know nothing is going to happen. They're going to get more followers. I think they have probably, 1 million followers right now.
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken. So yeah, we got to shut them down. They've been going on too long. Let's dry the gravy train up. Let's stop their money flow. Okay, and it's always off the backs of Black people, Black Americans specifically. Now, those women that were there when Nick Fuentes, who's an Italian, by the way, was sitting up there, posing and smiling and all that. I don't think they were Black American women, from what I'm understanding, just from the tweets that I'm seeing on the timeline. But we're getting dragged for it. So yeah, it has to be some consequences behind all of this shit here, because we've been putting up with it too long. They've been slipping and sliding, saying slick shit out the mouth, and just enjoying their day. So yeah, we need to put pressure. We need to put knees on their neck. We need to write YouTube and say, hey, if you don't shut this down, we're thinking about suing you, because that's what I did with Tommy. Class action lawsuit, because I'm tired of sitting up here hearing him say this shit. This was in 2010. So yeah, we got to do something about these two clowns, these two buffoons, these two tethers. And I'm going to go ahead and land my plane on that. Thank you.
Thank you, Black Native. And speak of Tommy Sotomayor, me and him, we got into an exchange the other day because he was saying something. I think it was in something that Tariq Nasheed posted, and I said, he was talking about how he called him crispy. And I'm like, man, you still talking about something that happened years ago? I said, why is it that you always have energy for Black people, but you don't have the same energy for white folks? So that kind of started a back and forth between me and him, and he challenged me to come on. Yo, you saw it? Yeah,
I was in there too.
Okay, yeah.
I was in there too. I said, look, why don't you go and you got all this energy. Why don't you go ahead and pop in one of his spaces? And air your grievances. You know what I'm saying? Come on in. Everybody goes in. I saw it.
I told him. I said, yeah. He told me, come to his space. I said, well, why don't you come to? I've been to a bunch of your space. I like, man, you ain't never been to one of my spaces. I said, I tell you what, Monday through Thursday, 8 p.m. Eastern time, you come to one of the spaces. Oh no, you put my name. And I said, look, you jumped in the post that didn't have anything to do with you. So what are you talking about? But hey, the opportunity, like, it's still there, Tommy. If you want to come up in one of the spaces, we'll definitely have a night totally designed for you or whatever. So anytime you want to step up in the Newstoter space, like I told you before, we'd be more than happy to have you up in this space as well too. This joker, he's sitting up here and he talking about that his platform, because I'm saying your platform, your people that support you are mostly white folks. How do you know? To prove to me that the people that support me are white folks. First off, how many Black people really walk around wearing their MAGA hats? If we're gonna be honest here. You have a few Negroes here and there, but how many really walk around wearing MAGA hats? That alone lets me know that most of the people that support you are not Black folks. Let's just be honest. Most of the people that support you are white folks, because you're saying the stuff that white folks want to say, but they don't want to get canceled. So you're the perfect person to go up here and say what they want to say. You're expressing how they really feel. And like you say, Black Native, everything that then went wrong in this man's life, he wants to blame a Black woman for it. Everything is a Black one, Black one, Black one, Black one, Black one, Black one, Black woman.
He was calling us here hooligans and BT 1000s. Look, he was the I would say the father of, I'm going to say, the Black manosphere. I'm starting some trouble, but everybody knows, like, who's ever heard of this man knows that predominantly all of his followers were white people, because he was saying what they wanted to hear. They love to hear Negro dog of the Black people. They get off on it. They probably was jerking off every time he was on his live. But guess what? You know why he's on these spaces now? Because he's banned from YouTube.
Yeah, he got kicked off.
Yeah, he's weaseled his way. He's weaseling his way into Black Twitter. And we got to shut him down every time he tries it.
Absolutely. My man Dark Kent just came and he said, salute Newstoter, just came in the chat. Why does sister want to stop the flow of a YouTuber's flow of income? She's talking about Fresh and Fit, and she's talking about Fresh and Fit sitting up here with white supremacists up here, letting them drop the N-word. They're sitting up here. He's putting on Ku Klux Klan hoods and everything like that. So that's what she's talking about. A lot of the stuff that they're doing is just anti-black and definitely anti-black American. So that's what the sister was saying, Dark, in case you just came in, that they're actually sitting up here with Nick Fuentes, who's a major white supremacist, sitting up here, and the black women that they had on the show was all championing him to say the N-word. Go ahead and say it to. He went ahead and said it. And they sitting up here, like I said, they one of the hosts sitting up here putting on the Klan hood and everything else, and just ridiculous stuff that they doing on there. So that's what she was talking about, just in case you missed it.
I just want to say one more thing. If those were Black American women, even just Black women, like once Rella said, one of the sisters said she didn't know who he was. They knew who he was because of the Pearly thing, and they're all connected. Shame on them. You know what I'm saying? Shame on them. If they knew who this man was and what he stands for, and you booed up with this dude, shame on them. They need to be shunned too. We should be dragging their asses on Twitter for filth. I'll land.
Thank you, Black Native. And guys, real quick, up in the Jumbotron, the third on the left-hand side is a Newstoter YouTube channel. If you have not subscribed to that YouTube channel, make sure you go ahead and subscribe to it. You can do that while we're on the actual space right now. So definitely, if you have not subscribed to the YouTube channel, make sure you go ahead and subscribe to that YouTube channel. Also, for those that can and will like to make a donation, $sign Newstoter, $sign Newstoter. Newstoter is the largest Black-owned, Black American news media curation platform today in America. Once again, Newstoter is the largest Black-owned, Black American-owned news media curation platform today in America. Once again, that is $sign Newstoter, $sign Newstoter. If you do not have a Cash App, we have the Venmo and PayPal up in the Jumbotron. For anybody that would like to become a subscriber to Newstoter, right here on Twitter is $3 a month as a membership, just $3 a month. Go to the actual profile page and click subscribe. You can support us for as little as $3 a month, for as little as $3 a month. Once again, we're trying to go ahead. We got 5 subscribers, guys. We're trying to slowly build that up. We haven't got any subscribers yet for the month of July, I don't think. Did we get one? Yeah, did we get one? Or was that June? I don't know. That might have been June. But we're trying to get some subscribers for the month of July. So if you're on Twitter and all you guys up in the space are on Twitter, think about subscribing to us for just $3 a month and become one of our subscribers. Like I say, once again, $sign Newstoter, and the PayPal and Venmo is up in the Jumbotron. For any of our listeners on YouTube, you can find all those links in the description as well too. Let me go ahead and get to DJ, let me go ahead and get to you, and then I'm gonna get to Rella. Stephanie, you had your hand up. If you want to speak, put your hand back up, and I get to you as well. DJ, you there? Okay, DJ must not be there. Shout out to my man Nate. Nate, thank you. Nate, I'm gonna be honest. We just went ahead and got the actual stuff on YouTube with the super stick and all that. I'm gonna be honest, I don't know what none of this stuff means at this point, but thank you anyways, Nate. Rella, since DJ not there, you go ahead. I hope the guys. I was gonna say I hope the space ain't freeze up because I ain't hear nobody for a second.
I'm here. Black Native is on point. Again, these people are embedded in so many different areas, so many different spaces in our country, different industries. And we get people who assume that, all Black is Black, right? And we know that Black is not Black because Black Americans, if you hear someone speaking and spewing the way that Tommy Sotomayor was speaking, the way that Fresh and Fit talks, I guarantee you would have a clear line of sight of who people are. And these people are not. I think Tommy Sotomayor, people were saying he's from Panama or he's Panamanian. And I had posted a video about him talking about reparations. And he was talking about how he was like, I don't think black Americans should get reparations. I mean, we don't even know who would get it. We don't even know how would they would even track that. Pandering to, and their audiences are always other groups of people, either their people, white people, majority, and they are pandering to that because it makes them money. And I'm with trouble. We need to dry up that money. Black Native is correct. So someone having a problem with somebody losing their monetization on YouTube, well, they shouldn't be spewing hate. You shouldn't be able to make money off of spewing hate. Essence did the same exact thing. They did the same exact thing. They shut down Black American businesses down there in New Orleans, utilizing the court. While they sat up here, and every chance they get, they letting us know all the themes and everything that they are doing now with Essence is African centered. I mean, Nigerian, Guyanese, they make sure you understand where the culture of design and it is coming from, as if they are the influence. Essence was built off of the backs of soul culture.
You know, Motown is owned by Ethiopian.
Oh, wow. How did that? I'm just saying, you see what I'm saying? So when we look at these things, I'm really concerned that, you know, with the lens of delineation and with the lens of understanding that, you know, you can always tell other melanated people by the way that they address Black Americans, how they actually talk about us. And it's always in a degrading way. And it might not be all, but it's far too many for my liking. And if we don't want to be participants in our own, erasure, then we better start waking up fast and doing something about it. Action means more than anything. Hell, I'm even realized talking too much don't help. So I'm just saying.
Amen, Willow. Amen.
Thank you, Rella. Let me go ahead and get this Stephanie. Stephanie, you got it.
Hello, welcome to you guys. Salute to the entire chat. I just want to say thank you for holding this space. It's a necessary space, and this is a necessary conversation that definitely needed to be had. In that photograph, they definitely don't represent a woman like me. They don't represent any of the classy women in this room. Anybody's the way a woman's supposed to carry herself. And I'm just tired of them placing all of this on Black women as a whole, okay? They made their bed, let them lay in it. I don't feel sorry for them. As far as this fresh and fit caricatures, that's exactly what they are. They're being used by white society to mock and make fun of Black America. And I think that we should have been in checking them from the gate. That's what I think we should have been doing. But, you know, because Black Americans, we tend to let things roll off our, you know, we tend to let things like water off a duck's back, basically. We tend to ignore a lot of stuff, but it's getting to the point where it's becoming a lot more dangerous than it should be. They're cowards. You know, the guy is walking around with a gun. He's walking around with a bodyguard now. So that tells you what kind of a man he really is. He's not much of one. Okay? The other ones, that this is how they make their living. And if he could see how Sudan is looking right now, and look how Haiti is looking right now, then neither one of them would have any reason to open up their mouth and say anything. You know? it's been too far gone, and we definitely got to do something about this. As far as Tommy Sotomayor is concerned, as far as black women, where in the world is a BT 1000 or 9000? What is that? Can somebody answer that for me? And secondly, he wasn't saying that when he almost got his butt handed to him when he was in Harlem. When that guy punched him in the face and was about to put more work on him. And who saved his behind but a black woman? She protected him from getting beat up in Harlem. But that video is still on YouTube. You can see it. In West face, every time you turn around, he's getting up in a black woman's face. You know what I'm saying? But when the about to get home, he was hiding behind that black woman mother too. She was a beautiful black woman, was protecting him because he was the guys recognized him from his videos and went up to him and popped him right in his face. You know, I mean, I think more should happen.
You breaking up a little bit. You breaking up some, Stephanie. Yeah, you was breaking up some.
I think. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay. No, I said more that need to happen. I mean, you know, like I said, that black woman protected him, and and you talking about black women like we're nothing. And like I said, if it wasn't for that black lady, them brothers would have rubbed you up around the corner in the out. You know, that just shows me how these certain people truly are. These are the tares that we got to separate from the wheat, you know. And as far as I'm concerned with that, that's all I have to say. I just came in, so I don't really know too much of anything. Oh, as far as Nick Fuentes, oh God, he got to catch that work. Wasn't somebody get killed during the Charlottesville thing in Virginia in 2017? I'm trying to figure that out. If he's
her name was Heather Hyatt. It was a white woman.
Yeah, I knew that was him because he got banned along with the other white guy. I can't think of his name right now, but that, you know, as far as I'm concerned, we feeding into it, and we got to stop doing that. But that's all I have to say for right now. Thank you.
All right, thank you, sweetie. Appreciate it. Let me go ahead and get to Talent. Talent, go ahead and unmute your mic. How you doing tonight?
Hey, peace and love to the family. Shout out to the space, everybody that spoke. We are in a dangerous reality.
Talent, can I get you a little bit louder if possible?
Oh, I apologize. I got the elbow in the background for the baby girl on my back. We're in a dangerous reality because blackness has given people the opportunity to use their proximity to speak on our behalf and benefit off of being disparaging towards us. You know, the first corporate commodity has been our bodies. You know, after that it was the cool caricatures, the black memorabilia, the blackface mystery shows, all of that stuff to create this idea of who we were for audiences that actually have anti-black, anti-Negro sentiments. So when I look at what happened with the Fresh and Fit podcast, it's the sad reality that people can come to this country or can be born in this country and not be of our lineage, our ethnic group, and be able to benefit off of speaking disparaging about us. Whether it's Fresh and Fit podcast, whether it's some of these Instagram pages that only promote us in a negative light. Who's talking about Tulsa right now, right? Where's ever the evenly yoked? You know what? Y'all gonna speak on our behalf, but y'all support us in reparations. Y'all denouncing what happened with the Tulsa movement. So if all they're gonna do is speak on our behalf or speak down on us, but never uplift and or point out the urgency of the fight that we have, and that kind of just lets us know that these people are a danger to our community. And at some point, you know, our unification of looking at us as a specific ethnic group, similar to like how the Jews do, and like, you know, maybe throwing lawsuits at people. You know, that's a damaging video to watch when you're looking at people in I mean, almost trump up, chant towards getting a known white supremacist to say the hard ER. Like, that's psychological warfare at the highest level, just for y'all to have shits and giggles for your own YouTube channel. Like, that channel should be stripped. Like it should be called to whoever endorses him, whatever sponsorships he gets, to shut the fuck down. You You know, like we got to be able to operate like that. So whatever moves we got to make in order to start releasing statements with letterheads saying who supports this. Hey, YouTube, yo, NAACP, here's this video. Black Caucus, what are y'all gonna say about this? This is warfare. Like we are literally being attacked for no goddamn reason because people want to build content over shits and giggles because they know they can benefit from the anti-Negro, anti-Black sentiments that has been built towards us. And that's the dangerous part. I mean, look at the Sotomayor dude. I don't know the brother, don't know the nigga at all. He still found himself on a Twitter platform, and he ain't talking about anything but black people ain't shit. Black people not better than white people. It's like somebody has told them that there's this playbook in America where instead of being like Newstoter, where you uplifting, you building, you informing the black folk, nah, dig at them, talk shit about them, and you get your numbers up, disrespect them, disrespect their women, disrespect their men, speak down on all of their efforts. It's gonna really give you a platform. For the life of me, I don't understand how that shit is a reality. Because I can't look at any black American, any Negro, and say, yeah, they got a whole platform and they built that off of just disparaging black immigrants or disparaging Asians or disparaging Jews or ethnic white people. And not just saying white supremacy, but literally talking about no Germans or Russians or Anglo-Saxons, like delineating them. I don't understand how we exist and people allow that shit to happen. We don't have the heart to just get up any day and make a whole YouTube page and podcast just to be disparaging in order to benefit off of it. Shit is real nasty and it been such shit. I don't understand how niggas don't be punching niggas in the mouth, bro. Like I feel like we from a certain era we at least got pushed, bro. You know, like and it ain't no trying to be a super thug and none of that. It's just it was certain integrity elements that we had where you just can't say nothing to no black folk without there being some type of repercussions. Mama might show up to your school, somebody might be up at your house, and we ain't trying to kill nobody, right? But something gotta happen. So since we gotta do this shit virtually, since nobody can reach people and get in their ass, we gotta create some type of pressure on people where we demanding that they lose their endorsements. We demanding people, y'all suckers, if y'all still watching that, yo, y'all jumping in somebody's page, y'all on their room, y'all know what they do is disparage black women and talk down on black men. Look at the titles of that Sotomayor dude at alone. It's like, yo, flag and report the page for Rippington. Like, it's nasty, man, and we're in a very dangerous space. So delineation is very important for us to say these people do not speak for us. They're not the descendants of slaves. They're not Negro, free. I don't care whichever. They know they not us. So we got to make sure that that is a hard line, and we start providing that pressure on y'all not us, so y'all can't speak for us. And y'all got black women, and now we got to delineate and figure out what type of black women they are and who the fuck these hosts is, because y'all letting Nick Fuentes say nigger and y'all trumping them up to do so. Like, that's psychological warfare, man. Not after Toaster, right? Not after that. I don't need that. So I'm gonna land there.
Yeah, Talent, you absolutely right. I'm with you. I'm from that same era where when these boys will tell you quick, you got to shoot me a head up. I mean, all this complete like disrespect. I mean, and like you say, I'm not talking about people getting killed, anything like that. But these boys down south will tell you quick, I'll punch you in your shit. Like, I mean, I'm not even the way things are going nowadays. I can't even relate to what they're talking about. It's like they speaking a foreign language. So I'm with you on that. Tommy Sotomayor, you're right. There is a big bag to be gotten in this country for simply just going ahead and, like I say, he knows that there's that MAGA crowd, and it ain't even a MAGA crowd. It's just a crowd out there in general, because you got a bunch of liberals as well too that like to hear some of that stuff as well too. So there's a big crowd out there just disrespecting black people. Well, you can make a lot of money. He knows that he's been kicked off of YouTube, so hey, now I'm on Twitter. I got these Twitter spaces and stuff like that. He's not going to get the kind of crowd that he was once getting on YouTube, but he's trying to build it up and whatnot. And he'll get a bunch of people that start subscribing to him and everything else as well like that. So he'll build it up or whatever. And he knows that, hey, not because I saw like one of the spaces, a title. I'm like, what the hell? I'm like, what? I didn't even know Tommy Sotomayor was on damn. He was even until a couple weeks ago. I didn't even know he was on Twitter. But then I started seeing the title of these spaces and stuff. I'm like, oh, hey, this dude's still coming back with this same stuff here after all this time, still coming back. But You're right. It's a big crowd for this kind of stuff out there as well too. So, but appreciate that talent. Let me give a shout out real quick to my girl, Goddess Michelle and Rerod. Thank you for your contributions on Cash App. Let me go ahead and kick it to Phoenix. We're gonna go to Phoenix. I'm gonna get the Black Native. You did have your hand up, but I see you put it down, so I don't know if you want to speak. If not, it's cool. We can always come back to you, but we'll get to Phoenix. We'll get to okay, Black. Then we'll get to Phoenix. We'll get the Black Native. We'll get to Robbie, and we'll get to Black Pressure as well too. Phoenix, go ahead and unmute your mic.
Hey, talent. Thank you guys. So thank the room for waking us up. Let's wake it up, make it scream, make it loud. We cannot stand for this anymore. I'm getting a little bit more freed up in my time. Our back when there's so much that we need to do, and we need to do it in numbers. I try to, because I'm outside, I've been trying to get to the link so that I could go ahead and record it, but it's not in the Jumbotron, or maybe I'm missing it. It's taking me to some other woman link that is sharing it, but I want to get to, and because I'm in traffic, it's hard for me to look for that particular thread so that I can record it. But we need to be recording it, shut it down. You think about this, the implications of 1 million followers seeing the imagery and the debauchery of Black women being treated like that, even with slave play in this Fuentes doc, that we can't have that shit represent us. And even if we see these women in the street, or women from the soil, from us, acting like that, we can always pull a sister aside and say, hey, sis, X, Y, and Z, whatever. We may get cussed out, we may not. We may have some young women who
You breaking up, Phoenix?
got it right, and made that time. This is psychological warfare. We have no more time for shenanigans and shits and giggles, especially from people that's not us, pretending like they're us, and have the nerve to even have words about us. No more. So, class action.
You break Phoenix. You breaking up, sweetie. Yeah, you were just breaking up a second ago. I'm sorry about that, Phoenix. You was talking straight and then it just started breaking up. So maybe because I don't know if you're still driving, that could be the issue or whatever. But get a chance to come back up here. Black Native, go ahead and unmute your mic. Black Native, I see you had just posted something too about his spaces. How ridiculous the title of this dude's spaces are.
Yeah, I put that out there when I first saw him up there. I did a comparison. I was like, okay, is nobody else noticing the title of his spaces? And I put a comparison, both of the spaces. But yeah, I want to send you a video of Tommy, and I found it when he said that, young Black boys should be shot.
Yeah, that's your phone?
Should be shot in the head.
Uh-oh. I'm muting it real quick, Black Native, so I don't know if that was your phone or whatnot, but I'm unmuted and see. Okay. You there, Black Native? Let me give her 1 second. Let me see. Black Native, you there? She could be having some connection issues as well, too, so.
I guess that phone blew up, man.
I don't know what happened. Like
Black Native, I hope you see it.
We in these streets. That's why we need to be protected, y'all. Women are in these streets. We can't have 1 million people looking at us crazy like this. That's it. Love y'all.
All right, I'm gonna give Black Native. I guess Black Native. She may have have some connection issues or whatever, because it sounded like an alarm went off on that one. So, Black Native, you there?
Yeah, I'm here. I don't know why my fire alarm is going going on.
Oh, okay, that's your fire alarm? Okay.
Yeah, that's the fire alarm in my apartment. For some reason, it's going off. It went off yesterday too, and this shit is getting weird. But
Well, let me. I'm gonna come back to you, Black Native. Okay. I'll come back to it when her fire alarm.
Okay, well, at least we know it's not a phone that was going on. Right.
Hey, Robbie, go ahead and unmute your mic.
Yo, peace, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. What's up, now?
That sounded like Area 51 or JC Penney's. I couldn't tell which one it was, like a Black Friday sale. But nah, since I'm just joking. But I want to say, Tommy Sotomayor is kind of like a dinosaur. He's old news. I agree with what people are saying. He's late on Twitter Spaces, and he's got his following, and he's just trying to get his coin. So he'll say anything out of his mouth. But these fresh and fit dudes, it seems like they're intentionally doing what they're doing, and I think a lot of it is what everybody alluded to before. There's no checks and balances. But the only silver lining, if there is one in all of this, is, see, the Democrats are underestimating these white supremacists, and the coons are. I've seen it building up. There's going to be a lot more violence, bro, political violence. And if these people aren't living around black people, if they're sitting here cockeyed and kikiing with these white supremacists, when there's a hiccup in capitalism or they're looking for a quote-unquote Negro to act their aggression out on, white supremacists always break their toys. So when they finally get a Me Too lawsuit or when the system of white supremacy turns on them, we're just going to barbecue that day. And if something really, 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 really kicks off, just be quiet. Go in these spaces. Go to these little blogs. Pay attention to the names that you see. Pay attention to the people. Because later on, when people come beating on the door, it's going to be like Noah's Ark. Please, 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 can I get refuge? No, you can't get refuge because you've proven that you're an agent provocateur and you're somebody that can harm us. So just continue to close ranks, stay the course. And, some people think cooning will save them. But really what it boils down to is they're trying to not get targeted by white supremacy, but at the same point in time, try to benefit and wear some camouflage so they can see outwardly like they got their pom-poms and their thong on, for white supremacy. But white supremacists always break their tools. And when they finally break them coons, you know what I'm saying? I'm not going to feel sorry for them. I hope they get R. Kelly time. And I'll end my plane.
All right. Thank you, Robbie. Thank you. Let me see. Black Pressure. Rerod, you was up here too, but I guess you disconnected. But if you get a chance, come back up here as well too. I hadn't heard you speak in a minute, so we definitely get you up in there. DJ, I'm not sure if DJ's in the Matrix or what.
I'm up there just rolling around with good. I'm hearing everything.
Because I had called on you one time before, but he was gone.
I heard you. You can speak at the moment.
Okay. Well, I'll get back to you in a second, man. Pressure, what's going on tonight, bro?
Black fam, what's up?
What's up?
What's up, Black Pressure?
What's going on? News, Ray, DJ, Rilla, Professor Trouble, what's going on? So,
what up?
Like the sister, I want to say Miss Phoenix was saying, and Black Native too, that video where get my thoughts together. The video where Tommy Sotomayor was at the House of Consciousness. They had a brother from Bullytown. That's what we call Baltimore in Texas. But they had a brother from Bullytown smashed on, right? To this day, I hadn't watched that video in years, but to this day, what pisses me off with that video is that the first person to jump in and stop him from getting his ass penitentiary stumped was a black woman. And all the shit that Tommy Sotomayor talks about black women, I would figure that they would be the last ones to jump in between. But that shit still makes me mad when I watch that video. The dude, like we say in Texas, like, you don't jump in between that. You gotta let that man handle that, man. Don't jump in between that. Like I say, it still angers me that the first person to jump in was the demographic that he, for lack of a better term, defecates on. And I just wanted to say that. And also too, I can't remember the brother's name that was talking about black men punching people in their shit. He was right. Like I say, the brother from Bully Town, he had it right. He was about to smash cuz an old girl jumped in. So I'm in the gym. I'm gonna keep it short, but that's all I wanted to say.
Oh yeah, I said it about punching people in their shit. They tell you that quick back in the day in Florida. Like, hey, you sitting up here running your mouth, cuz what's up? Nigga, I go in your shit. You know, oh, okay. Well, either you got to do something about it or you got to walk away. But you're gonna do something one way or another. And all this stuff here, like you say, this whole virtual thing is it done kind of thrown the game sideways here, boy. These boys, I don't know what they talking about nowadays, but yeah, it was straight up like that. Shoot me a head up, or the other one. It was. I mean, no two ways about it. So I don't know exactly what folks talking about nowadays, but you're right on that one, Pressure. And I remember one time too, didn't Tariq roll up on Tommy Sotomayor when he was on Vlad one time? He came up in there?
Yeah.
Okay.
And in fact, just a real quick, after that, that's why Vlad said he started having security in those interviews because of that.
Yeah, because I remember Tariq kind of he wasn't he wasn't trying to fight him or nothing, but he was there, and Tommy kind of was looking a little a little afraid to say the least, but hey, it was what it was. You go ahead and get Reraw up here. Reraw, how you doing tonight?
Hey, I'm good. How you guys doing tonight?
We're doing good.
All right, you guys. I've been peace and love and reparations to all of the family. You guys, it's been a while since I talked to y'all, but I've been listening. That's kind of what I do. I've been listening, And so I was in a couple of spaces today. One where Fresh and Fit came in, and he was saying something to the point like he believes in a white structured society because he is a part of a white structured society. And something like, so why wouldn't he believe in a white structured society? And so the brothers was kind of pushing back, and I'm like, hey, we live within it, but we're not living in it, right? we kind of live within it, but we're not living in it. We're not living in it. And maybe like 45 minutes later, Tommy Sotomayor, he came in, and it was just the most disrespectful, like things that I couldn't even take most of it. I would jump out, you know what I'm saying, just for like a peace of mind. But I mean, he jumps in, he's like black bitches, these what is it called, ghetto gaggers, and it's just like black bitch, like after every single thing he had to say. And so, I'm in a space with a bunch of brothers, and they're all mad because black women, they think we didn't come to the forefront and be like, hey, what they did on Fresh and Fit shit the other day was wrong. And I don't know if it's just me, and I would like the ladies to please answer this question if you can. So for me, if I see something that's super degenerate and hella stupid and it doesn't represent me, I genuinely don't give it any I don't give it any play. I'm not chasing it. It's just I don't want to give them any extra anything. And, I'm not giving that any shout out to that type of shit on my platform. And so for me, the black men in that space, they were like, black women ain't saying nothing, and I'm just like, but that's not us. That's not us. And as far as what those, I don't even know. When I seen the video clip that I seen, it was probably 2-3 minutes long. I seen some weave girls that were sitting down with the white dude. And then I did see some black girls who weren't at the table with natural hair, type. And they was all like, you can see them kind of like, nah, that's not cool. But the girls who were at the table, it seemed like they were just really with the degenerate behavior. I don't want to say that they were all tethered because, like said earlier, or it could have been trouble. Hoes is gonna be hoes. So they're gonna do what they do. Caribbean, black, African, whatever. You a hoe, you're gonna be a hoe, you're gonna go where that money goes. So I don't know if all of those women at the table were black, but I did see some hairlines, I see some hairlines, and I did see some other black girls kind of sitting on the sideline, and they was natural, and they were kind of shaking their head. But for me, I'm thinking that's when you get up out of your chair, you slam whatever they have attached to you down on the ground, and and you walk out. Period. We don't take that kind of stuff. We don't take that kind of disrespect. I'm not going to sit in a room where anyone is disrespecting black men, black women like that. I will be the fastest one to get up, make a scene, and slam the door just to let them know that I'm not rocking with this shit. You know what I mean? And so it's a really hot topic, Newstoter. You know what I'm saying? It's a really hot topic because in the spaces, you know, you got a lot of brothers. I don't know if it's manosphere or whatever, but you got a lot of brothers like, oh, y'all just ain't saying nothing about it. Y'all ain't, you know, if it was a black man who did this, you guys would be jumping out the window. You know, and I don't never get that from these spaces. But when the spaces that I was kind of like going through today at work, I just got off. It was like real gender dividing type shit. You know what I'm saying? It just didn't feel right. It's just this whole thing, like it just doesn't feel right. It's so outside of us. You know, it's so outside of Black Americans. You know, I'm watching the news at home and they talk about Black people. I look up. You know, after I just got off of work, I'm eating some tacos or something. I look up and I'm like, who are they talking about? Like, I just went to work. I just, you know, picked my husband up from school. I just got this kid. You know what I mean? Like, who are they talking about? And so it's the same way when I hear like these black men in these spaces, like, oh, black women don't stand up, black women don't say this, they don't say that. And it's just like, who are y'all talking about? Because like all of the black women I know, especially from Twitter spaces, thank God I found some the right ones. Thank God. You know what I'm saying? But none of us are on that type of time. So I'll land there. Thank you so much for letting me speak. And if there's any women who could answer that question, do you kind of just avoid liking something or jumping on something if it's just too degenerate for your style, or do you just always, you know, say something that we are?
All right, thank you, sister. Well, we got Black Native up next, so maybe she can answer that a little bit. Black Native, I know you was having the alarm bells was ringing in your area, so hopefully it stopped now. But go ahead, Black Native.
Yeah, like they put a new alarm system in my apartment and smoke. It went off and it sets the whole building off. So yeah, the fire people, they're leaving. I'm like, it's nothing happening, you know, but I was going to tell you that I wanted to send you a videotape of Tommy saying that giving white people permission to shoot young black boys.
Oh, go ahead and send it. Send it.
Yeah, I found it. I looked deep. I saw him up here because I wanted, like I'm telling you, like he's been on my nerves since 2010. Like that's when I first noticed him. And it was also Phil of the Advice Show. He was on that shit too. But he changed his format. So it was those two guys. So yeah, I'm gonna send it to you. I have it saved somewhere. I'll send it to you.
You said who else was it? Who else was on that vibe? You said
Phil from the Advice Show. He was calling black women what you call hyenas. He used to call black women hyenas. He used to sit in his bathroom with a shower curtain in the back and just disrespect. He scrubbed it. You're not going to find none of his old videos. He scrubbed it. So, yeah. But it was them two. They were the main two, you know, culprits. And like Sister Reba said, like, yeah, I'm going into these spaces and it just seems so divisive. And that's what Tommy feeds off of. He loves it. When he loves that divisiveness. That's his thing. So when he comes in the space, best believe it's going to be black men and black women going at each other's throats, and he sits there and eggs it on. Now, this dude is what, in his 50s? Like, dude, you too old for that shit. Like, sit down somewhere, enjoy the little bit of money that you got off of white people from YouTube, and chill out and relax. Because we ain't on that type of time. You know, and I'm glad a lot of people call him out and have kicked him out the room. But you got some that, you know, will sit there and go along with him. Also with Fresh and Fit, I don't know if y'all heard me when I said this guy name, he's changed his names to Gaines. That's not his real name. He has an Arab last name because he considers himself Arab. He doesn't even really consider himself black. He was a special agent for either the FBI, for the Department for Homeland Security. He was a special agent for Homeland Security with all of this animosity that he has towards Black Americans, not just the women, also the men. I wonder how many people that he arrested or set up on false charges. Since that's like he's like a white supremacist in a darker complexion. Now, if this was a known white supremacist and we found out that white supremacist was on law enforcement, he would lose his job. But this guy sits up on YouTube, wants a special agent for Homeland Security. Did they put him there? Is he a plant? And what did he do when he was in that position? How many other Black people did he was in that position that he was in? That's questions that I would like to know. You know, but yeah, I'm gonna send you that with Tommy and the sisters in Phoenix. It was Stephanie. When Tommy came to New York, I just happened to see him live, and I was like, "Oh, you coming?" I was in his live. "Oh, you coming to my hometown?" "Oh, okay." And when he got popped in the mouth at Sarnetta, he was at an event that Sarnetta was throwing. Yes, it was a Black woman. It was a Black woman that saved him. And I think he thanked her, but then he went back on, and when he got in it was a traffic violation. It's on YouTube, and he called action all kind of stuff. Literally, I think that's why they beat him up, because of that what he did with videotaped himself disrespecting this Black woman, for no reason, because she bumped into his car. Yeah, this is the type of time this dude is on. I don't know whether YouTube encourages this. Please believe it, because he wouldn't have been on that long. He wouldn't have been able to make all that money that he made for that long of a time if this wasn't encouraged by YouTube. And now we got these two tethers. So yeah, that I'm gonna send you that video too. I'm gonna send it to you in your DM so you can hear it.
Oh yeah, definitely go ahead and send it to me, because I definitely he said a lot of outrageous stuff over the years as well too. So I mean, nothing he says.
It was basically mostly Black women. But when I heard him say that, and I know right now he would deny it, be like, "Oh, why didn't you say that?" "Oh yeah, you did, homeboy, because I found the video." So you can't get me out of this.
In the space earlier, since he was like, "Yeah, oh, y'all know me. Y'all know me. I don't know y'all." And I was like, I've never heard of this person at all until like maybe 2 weeks ago. I started hearing his name in spaces, but I've never heard of this guy. I don't know who this Tommy Sotomayor is. Maybe I'm old school. I'll be 41 in a week. Okay, I don't know, but I have never heard of this man before about 2 weeks ago.
No, this dude, when YouTube first came on the scene, he was there. And that's how he was able to get his claim. He's just a YouTuber, but he's a famous YouTuber. And he's been doing this since he just got banned, I think, this year. So it's been about 13, 14 years he's been doing this shit. And they finally kicked him off. Yeah, he's a coon. Like this Tariq, they made games about this dude. Tariq gave this dude a Coon Award when he was on Vlad TV. Yeah, everybody who was like watching Black YouTubers, he's one of the main ones, but not for good. That's all I'll say about that.
Definitely, like I said, I told him if he wanted to come on here, he talked about I can come to his platform. I told him he can come here. So if he's listening, because I would love for him to just jump up into this space the way he does the other spaces as well too. So come on up in here, Tommy. We would love to have you up in here. It would make a very interesting space, to say the least. Let me go ahead and
We're a community though, Newstoter. We're a community, right? Everybody else has spaces, but this is a community.
We know. Trust me, sister. We'll know how to keep Tommy in his place. Trust me, you won't have to worry about that. What he does in those other spaces and stuff like that, he'll get straightened out in here. So I would definitely love for him to come on up in here talking to noise. He got straightened out in the little comments that we had as well too. So he went ahead and left that alone, because he knows that this is one mountain that he ain't ready to climb right here. So whenever he wants to come up in here, we would be more than glad to host him up in here. Me and DJ already talked about that as well. Like, yeah, come on up in here if you want to. He ain't gonna come up in here. He's gonna go up in these other spaces because he's got a white platform, and he knows that he's coming on here. He's gonna get paid. He can't get paid on YouTube no more, but he's gonna sit up here with that MAGA stuff. And a little look at the and I don't know if y'all saw what Black Native posted, but here was this dude's the title of his spaces right here. He had one space. Why do blacks keep begging for reparations from whites? Then he had another space. Blacks are intellectually inferior to whites. Prove me wrong. So when you put this kind of stuff out there, you looking to get a certain demographic of white folks to rush up in there and tell you how good you are and how different you are and how much better you are than the rest of them and how you don't make excuses and all this other stuff that we've heard our whole life. So like I say, that stuff will fly in certain spaces, but you're right. In this community here, sister, it ain't gonna fly. But I'll be more than gracious to let this dude come up in here and talk his talking points, because I heard what he's got to say. I've heard my whole life anyway. So I mean, he wouldn't be anything worth getting upset about. I let him speak, and then I will let everybody up in this space also go ahead and ask some questions and comment and everything else as well too. So we would definitely it would be an interesting night, and we would definitely. That's why we do got the mute button in here too. Like we'll hit the mute button when needs to, but I don't think you have to worry about Tommy Sotomayor coming up, and I think he went in one of Black Alpha spaces, and I think they ran him up out of there. So he knows.
If he ever got the guts to come in here and do it, I will pay you. Give me 10 minutes in the ring with him. I just want 10 minutes in the ring.
I tagged him in the chat. Y'all retweet the shit. There you go.
Hey, yeah, y'all retweet and tell Tommy to come up here. We can set up a whole space for him.
You see the tweet in the chat? Go retweet that shit.
Yeah, tell him to come on up in here.
Right now too. Let's go.
Let him come up in here. That, like I said, that would be all too funny. That would be one of the better spaces.
He wouldn't come up.
No, he won't come up here, bro. That's what I'm saying. It ain't even worth even talking about. It's entertaining because he ain't gonna come. Pressure, you were next. You want to go ahead and speak?
No, my man, that was an accident. I'm still at the gym.
Go
ahead. I'm listening up.
Okay, let me go ahead and get to
retweet them tweets before you hit the next set of reps.
Let me go ahead and get to Rella. And guys, make sure, like I said, we haven't got anybody to subscribe to the YouTube channel tonight. That's up in the Jumbotron on the yikes. We got a bunch of stuff up there now. That's hell. It's up in the Jumbotron. I don't even know where it's at myself now. It's like in the middle of the Jumbotron.
It's on the right hand side. Start from the right, work your way to the left. There you go.
Yeah, it's actually in the middle. So go ahead. It's in the middle. So go ahead. For those that have not subscribed to the YouTube channel, we got a decent amount of people in here, 60-some people. I know every single solitary person in the space has not subscribed to the YouTube channel. So if you haven't, please go ahead and subscribe to the YouTube channel. For those that can't support us on Cash App, $Newstoter, Newstoter. Newstoter is the largest Black-owned, Black American news media curation platform today in America. Once again, that's $Newstoter, Newstoter. For those that don't have Cash App, we have the Venmo and PayPal on hand in the Jumbotron. And we also, like I said before, we have a membership now on Twitter, $3 a month. We're definitely looking for some Twitter members, so definitely go ahead. If you can support us that way, it's just $3 a month. Once again, $3 a month. Go ahead, Rella, you got it.
Thank you, Newstoter. Again, DJ, I see you up in this space. Robbie, all the brothers in the space, represented, talent represented. I want to say it is, I think it's just really up to us. And, I said this before, when you apply the right pressure in conversations, people respond. And they will respond based on what they believe. They respond with what they feel or what's impacted them or what's hurt them. And you'll start to get the character of that person. I'm not exempt. No one is exempt from that because our beliefs are tied to things that, we've experienced or what we've seen. I think the trick is that these types of people, these platforms have pulled the ultimate trick, making the Black American people believe that somehow we have to be at some sort of gender divide in order to recognize harms that happen to one another. And that keeps us in, this it's kind of like some sort of parasite, playing off of our pain. They profit from it. They're able to, get the most gain out of it. No Black American has been paid millions of dollars off of YouTube for this. I mean, yeah, Kevin Samuels, but we don't really know what his background was. No one really knows. No one ever checked that because he was saying all the things that people agreed with. So he was in the lens of what people felt was right to them. And then for the people who didn't agree with him, it didn't land in their spirit correctly. I always say that when I hear some of these, like Tommy and the rest of them speak, if it's not bringing people in the collective together, that means that it was never intended for us to be a collective, period. It was intended to only address one particular group. And you can say the same thing with the Cynthia G's and the rest of these platforms, because you never hear of the what's the next step? How do you get people in the American community to be in love, to want to reproduce, to have healthy relationships, things like that? These types of platforms are dangerous. And to my sister Rerod's question, in the beginning, when I was engulfed in the social media realm with listening or maybe seeing some of these videos and stuff, I would have the need to respond. I would want to respond. Even when we would have our conversations, I would want to respond because I felt like I had a duty to show up for Black American women, for me, myself, my mother, my sisters, my aunts, to show up and be like, okay, this is what's going on here. But then you realize that
somebody got to mute their mic. Hey, somebody got to mute your mic. Go ahead, Rella.
You realize that you get tired. You get tired of trying to fight a war, a battle that was never meant for you to fight alone. So I stopped. Matter of fact, I have conversations with a particular gentleman, and I tell him how tiring it is. It's taxing on the soul, on the spirit. And I realize at that point, it's never intended to actually build me up as a Black woman or me to build with a Black American man. It's meant to actually cause this ripple divide. And the trick is to believe that I cannot communicate with my brother. That if I do not have a particular status or value, then I am not to be heard. So I only operate with people who honor doesn't escape them, because honor escapes a man who has none. If you ever hear people who have honor, they don't behave in a certain way. They have conversations like this, but it's not in a way where it actually is taking, it's removing the love from how do we get this, how do we prove these people wrong type situation. Because it's not that I don't believe that Black men and women have autonomy in their own right. I believe that these people have been now infiltrated to be the what's called the quote-unquote Willie Lynch letter, like, if I can use that metaphor, even though the Willie Lynch letter was not real, I'm saying the sentiment of it. If you get people in you get someone that has a large platform, they're able to influence a group of people, all they have to do is say the right thing until you apply the right pressure. And it's all out war. And I land.
All right. Thank you, Rella. Let me go ahead and get to let me get to Fred and then I'm gonna get to you, Phoenix. Fred, go ahead and unmute your mic.
All right, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, as far as this fresh and fit, every one of them damn Sambos that was on there, these ghetto gaggers and plantation jump offs, whenever they're brought up, just never let them forget. Don't never let them wipe this off. You guys are the same Sambos that sat up there and had a white supremacist to call you a nigger. Like, I don't care when it is. Every one of them that was there, never let them wipe that off. Every time they're mentioned, that's what they're going to be mentioned by. Now, as far as Tommy Sotomayor, this is what you call an all-around bitch-ass nigga. Because I saw one time on that damn show where he was showing a video, and it was like some young black girls at a ball or something, and some pink bastard literally punched one of these little black girls. She couldn't have been older than 12, and knocked her out. And he was sitting up there making fun of that. Roll that beautiful bean footage, saying some shit like that. So now here's what he should have done if he had any testicles at all. Now, whatever money he's got, he should have put a price tag on that bastard's head and said, look, whichever one of y'all put this motherfucker on the news with something extremely bad happening to him, I'm going to cash app y'all $10,000 or whatever. I'm going to pay for your attorney fee. Hold like a GoFundMe for his defense. But instead, he literally sat up there and made fun of that. And I thought to myself, I don't think I've ever seen anything like that before, where you get a young 12-year-old, the girl couldn't have been older than 12, a big-ass white man, punch her in the mouth and knock her out, and you sit there and make fun of it. So see, Tommy, he's one of them dudes that I'd like to meet in person, so that if I don't like what he says or his tone, I can handle it my way. Now I'm mute before I say something bad.
All right. Thank you, Fred. Appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Let me go ahead and get to Phoenix. Phoenix, go ahead and unmute your mic.
Thank you for letting me speak again. Can I be heard?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay. Hey, I just want to say this, and I'm usually not like this, but this is what I'm feeling, because I'm in the war zone and I'm listening to the war beat. All of them could drop dead right now, and I'm putting it out there, drop fucking dead, because we're giving these people grace as if they're actual human beings and of some sort of spiritual value. They are parasites. They are demons walking amongst us, and we're giving them grace and giving them explanation and trying to explain away how damaged they are and all this. And the way we wake this up is by shutting them down, period. And I'm not even saying physically. Spiritually, on the app, that's the new smash in the face. Is shutting their apps down, shutting their stages down where they can have 1 million people look at this shit. And really I'm not going to even hold a call to action on it, because I'm not going to give it any more energy. I'll put how I feel into the universe and let it work. But at this time, all we need to be doing, everybody in this room needs to be shutting those sites down wherever they are, recording all of it. And then in the background, we'll be getting our packs together and our anti-defamation situations together to really shut it down. But right now, what we can do, the big spush in the face and the big beat down, will be beating down those fucking platforms. And I'm a landlord.
All right. Thank you, Phoenix. Appreciate that, sister. DJ, I know you had your hand up way earlier. I guess we'll go ahead and get ready to shut it down for the night. You and Professor, y'all want to say something real quick?
Yeah. So again, it's some hypocritical stuff that was said in this room tonight, but we ain't gonna get there though, because I know you want to close out. But I'll say, when I was doing my Kevin Samuels was right spaces, I told a lot of y'all black women
what to look out for. Tommy Sotomayor, Fresh and Fit. Y'all didn't want to hear none of that shit. You know what I'm saying? So now we here. So it's like, what y'all gonna do now? Y'all gonna really go, yeah, get on your game. Call the FCC, call Twitter support, call all these niggas. You know what I'm saying? And get these niggas up out the paint because they don't like Black Americans, yo. Been told y'all that, you know what I mean? And pressure fit, use a bitch, you know what I'm saying? Tommy, I don't like how you talk to the Black women, but I like your politics and shit on certain shit, you know what I mean? But whatever, you know what I mean? And Tommy was on Twitter well before mostly us was on Twitter. He got banned under Jack Dorsey, you know what I'm saying? Same thing. Black women didn't like what he was saying, got him up out of here. Same thing on the YouTube. Y'all ain't like what he was saying, got him up out of here. It is what it is. Also, you know, this third time's a charm, right? Get him up out of here. There you go. You know what I mean?
All right, Professor, you got it. Go ahead.
Great space tonight, family. I was glad to see everybody up in here. Shout out to the entire Newstoter clan. Look like everybody came up here tonight. So shout out to Black Majority down there. Sister No Taxation up in here. Rilla, Trouble, Ray, Black Pressure, Phoenix, Black Native, Sister Rera. Let's see, just making sure I ain't miss anybody. Of course, our usual suspects up at the top here. Of course, me and DJ and the man himself, the Newstoter himself. And so yeah, I was glad to see the entire Newstoter family up in tonight. And man, that's the first time I've seen all of us like up in here like that in the longest. And a shout out to my boy Fred down there. Now, I ain't forget about you, Fred. I see you. And Heavenly, see you down there, Heavenly. Great space, everybody. And but let's remember, let's not lose sight of what this whole thing is about. We cannot let these people throw us off course for what we really trying to do. These people are going to continue to do this degenerate stuff. We can't stop them from doing it. But I do believe, like what Phoenix Star is saying, and of course Sister Willa been saying, and Trouble been saying, we do need to hit these platforms. We do need to send out the complaints, see if we can get them off the air, get them off whatever we need to get them off of. We do need to try to do that. But let's not let these people throw us off course of what we really trying to do here, family. Because we got people that's coming up in our spaces that's trying to make us lose sight of the main goals that we're trying to achieve. So I want y'all to stay focused on what we're really trying to do, and let's not let these folks throw us off course, okay? We got a lot of work to do. Really, you say it all the time. We got a lot of work to do, so we got to stay focused, right? And much love to all of y'all. Good night.
All right, real quick. I see Rera. She's up here. So, Rera, I'll let you go ahead and get it in real quick.
Thank you so much, Newstoter. You guys, I just want to say I love y'all. Let's always keep our heads up. You know what I'm saying? We've always been fighting. We're going to continue to fight until we get what we need. And we are a strong, positive, lovable people. We have loved everyone and shown everyone love. Don't ever forget that. And I just want to say I love y'all. I miss y'all. And I'm going to start talking in the spaces more. And yeah, let's just keep it going.
All right, thank you. Sound like you got the little one with you, the nephew. So shout out to the to your little ones up in the spot as well too. Go ahead, DJ, real quick.
Hey, just shout out to brother Moko, B Moko. I saw the brother today, so you already know. You know what I mean? Shout out to our brother. You know what I mean?
Oh, okay. Yeah, shout out to brother Moko as well too.
I was about to say I thought I saw Moko, y'all, but it's like he disappeared. Did he come up and talk?
He probably may have been working or something. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Shout out to brother Moko. I thought I saw him, but yeah, I guess he left out.
Yeah, he just sometimes he can't talk and he just come in and show his support or whatever. So shout out to that brother. He's always been a supporter as well too. So definitely shout out to him. So guys, I guess that'll end it for the night space. Good space we had tonight as well. So as always, thank you to the co-hosts, the speakers, the listeners. Thank you to everybody who shared the room out, who commented, who liked the post. Shout out to Black Native for sending me a couple of those videos. I need to check up on Tommy Sotomayor as well too, guys. So as always, y'all know we'll be back 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, the usual. Y'all know we're going to talk about Black news and Black America as well, too. So even though we was talking about Fresh and Fit, we discuss a lot of other issues about Black people. And like Professor said, something that was interesting, like, hey, we discuss a lot of things about Black America. So let's not just Fresh and Fit and some of these, and Nick Fuentes, some of these YouTubers and social media people. Let's come in here and discuss some real topics as well, too. That's impacting Black America as well, too. So we can always get it in this space as always. So definitely thank you for everybody who came up in the space. Thank you for everybody who donated on Cash App. Thank you to all my people on YouTube as well, too, guys. Make sure if you're on YouTube, if you have not subscribed to the YouTube channel, definitely go ahead and subscribe to that YouTube channel. For all my people that's on YouTube, make sure you like and share the actual video as well, too. We'll be back tomorrow night, the same time, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So everybody take care. Have a good night, and we'll see you then.
Peace, peace.